What is DNS? How does it work? Welcome to DNS for the IT Pro. Humans are communicative beings. Even from the start, we had a drive to communicate with each other. Early on, we were forced to live within the restriction of being able to only communicate within the range of our own voices. But as our technology improved, so too did our ability to communicate over larger and larger distances. With the technological breakthrough that was the telephone, we eventually found ourselves able to communicate with virtually the entire planet. This, however, was not without its downsides. With nearly the whole planet using the telephone, it meant that we had to remember more and more telephone numbers. Often these numbers were committed to memory, but people realistically found themselves able to remember only so many numbers. As a way of publishing those numbers so we could communicate with each other more effectively, we compiled all those phone numbers into massive telephone books. But if you needed to communicate with several metropolitan areas, you could need several massive yellow-paged books full of phone numbers and ads. The proliferation of cell phones and their ability to manage your contact list for you meant you no longer had to commit such a vast number of contacts to memories. But even this wasn't foolproof. If you didn't have a number specifically associated with your own contact list, you were still often unsure with whom exactly you were communicating with. Today, most of our communication is done online. Email, voice over IP, and instant messages bombard us on a regular basis, yet all those communications are actually going to IP addresses. Fortunately, these are numbers we never have to remember. If we had to remember the IP addresses of every website, IM, or email we sent, we'd quickly be buried. Thankfully, we don't have to remember these because we're rescued by DNS, Domain Name Service. Have you ever been on a group chat and someone not in your own contact list is included? This can lead to a mystery conversation where you only see a random number and have no idea who the person actually is. Sometimes, though, you can gain some insight into the conversation, and this can lead to us getting enough information to add a contact to our own list that we didn't have before. Now imagine if we had a server out there whose job it is to make all of those contacts for us, so that when we typed in a name instead of an IP address, that server knew the contact and pointed us at the right spot. That is DNS. You can think of visiting a DNS server a little like taking a trip to your local library. Imagine you wanted to go to a website. Your computer would reach out to a DNS recursor. This is kind of like a librarian whom you asked to help find a particular book somewhere in the whole library. The first step is going to a root name server. This is like going to the index in the library that points you to the right section of books. From there, the root server would then point you to the TDL, or top domain level server. This has the authority over all those dot endings, the .gov, .mil, .net, and even the .com. Think of these as the labels on the individual shelves at your library. Then finally, you arrive at the right shelf of books in the right section of the library, and you find what you're looking for, the authoritative name server, the name server that the address is on file with. This authoritative name server finally translates the website to an IP, and your computer is able to connect to the page. Because of DNS, we're able to effortlessly go to any online resource we wish without having to remember any IPs, not even our own. Thanks for watching. For more information and videos like this, please visit our website at www.fortheitpro.com. If you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. Don't forget to hit the bell icon for notification on when new videos on IT concepts made easy are available.